Hey everybody. So we're going to run you through some changes here to the product. We still got a lot of work. There's some bugs here. Some things may hiccup here in the middle of this screencast. But I want to run through the big changes we made in the last 10 days. First, we realized that we could not use the product the way it was being designed efficiently within our company. So we've taken time to re-architect a few things around that and make things a little easier for the user, as well as easier for us to manage things and more obvious. First, originally we designed this idea of a long conversation history with every team. But the challenge became that if, for example, someone contacts you through the wrong email address or text messaging address, or has multiple questions or multiple things, so the conversation evolves to require a different team to take care of it, there was no easy way to transition that communication. And so we've tried a few things. We landed on, hey, let's get rid of the one conversation history per team. Instead, it's one long conversation history for the contact. So that way, as the contact comes in and talks to you, you can see everything they did before in the past. And if you need to, you now can go in here and transfer, in this case, Michelle's talking to the sales team. We actually want Michelle to talk to the support team. And we'll jump back over here to Michelle. Here's Michelle and the support team. Like I said, there are a few hiccups still. We're working on the UI. And you'll see a note here saying, hey, transfer from sales to support. If a note had been added in the transfer, it'll show up there. And now the support team can run with this conversation. We work on assignment rules and things like that in the future. Let me go ahead and grab this one back for myself here in the user thing. And that's good. That just streamlined a whole bunch of usability issues. It also maintains one long conversation history, which will be useful in a lot of ways for us internally for sentiment, intent, AI, all kinds of things. The next piece that we dove into was the task management. There's a lot of work to be done on the UI for task management, but one thing we wanted was when you go to the task dashboard, you can now see my tasks. So basically, any conversation assigned to the user, me in this case, if I click on it, I can see all the conversations and what I need to do. And I can jump real quickly into seeing the conversation and working on that. Or if I want to just work out of here today, hey, I need to get a coverage proposal over to Michelle. I go do that. I prepare my proposal. I jump over to the conversation, for example. I attach the proposal and send it to her, and I check off the box. Or in this case up here, we'll go back over here one more time. I need to check this off. So I can just come over here and just check it off, and it completes the task. And of course, that'd be recorded in the activity history for that task. But we thought that was important so that, again, users can quickly go and see what are my tasks versus what's going on across all my teams. Next, we really, again, a challenge we were having was, hey, how do we implement this product inside our business? Another reason we're actually, eating our own cake, dog fooding it, we ran into some limitations. The assumptions we made designing some things caused us to revisit it. And the example being that we've now added a whole bunch of new things in the back end, but inboxes being a big primary one of them. And where this came from was that, for example, sales team. If I jump to the sales team here, it's set up to do direct routing to the sales team, which has 4 members, and is sending info. And I can go and add as many email addresses to this inbox as I want that all route to the sales team. And that way, you can handle aliases for lead generation, things like that. And the same goes for the support team. I might have a bunch of different email addresses. Again, it's going to support team with direct routing. And beyond that, you're going to see some things change here. We have a new kind of internal routing tool, which is there's the concept of direct routing. All conversations go to this team for everything coming to this inbox. Or shared routing, which means that I can create an inbox of different types, whether it's web chat, email, or text messaging right now. And AI will actually assess the inbound messages and decide, hey, does it really belong in the support team or does this belong somewhere else? And this kind of lets us put some intelligence in front of certain inboxes in order to dynamically route the message to the correct team. For those of you that didn't see that, there's also something else coming down here very soon, which is this AI operator, which we'll talk about in the near future. Beyond, and as I show you here, this is all from development, but you can see there's web chat inboxes, SMS inboxes. SMS inboxes will be tied to 10 DLC campaigns for registration, and again, have opportunity to route to a team, have intelligent routing, things like that. Web chat is also can basically associate with one or more websites in an inbox. And we're going to do some stuff with those inboxes so that, for example, if you have multiple companies, multiple different geographic locations, multiple websites that have different intents, then it lets the customer have a lot more flexibility in how they design how messages are coming into their company. And one thing of note on the inboxes when we're in here is you'll notice there's an email signature on the inbox. This is going to be kind of a footer, basically. We'll probably rename that. But this footer on the inbox will be something that gets added on outbound messages from this inbox. So if it comes into the marketing inbox, ends up in the marketing team, then when they respond, they'll get that footer added onto those messages so that every team can kind of brand their communications to some extent. Again, a lot of work still be done in this, and you can see some of the ones down here. Let me see one. And also it'll show the conversation history here on an inbox so you can understand what's going on. And you cannot, once you have conversations in an inbox, you can't delete the inbox for obvious reasons. I can also jump over to the team and see what the team is. Again, we have a lot of information. This team has 3 inboxes, 2 users. I can go and add additional users if I want. I'll add Rachel to this one here in particular. Again, the concept of contact verification, email signatures are there. This hasn't changed very much, but you notice now we have the concept of inboxes being related to teams. Next, routing. So to help that intelligent routing that I referenced a minute ago, we're now going to have intelligent routing. And in this case, we have a technical support routing, which means that I have a routing rule that says, hey, the intent of this rule is technical support. The target team that you're looking at is the support team, okay? And apply this rule to all inboxes. And what that means is that AI is going to go ahead and assess every inbound message that this rule can process with the intent of, is this message a technical support message? If so, I'm going to make sure it ends up in the support team, right? That conversation is going to end up assigned to the support team, period. We're going to work out some rules about, we have to work on the rules with if a conversation is already assigned to another team, what happens when the AI sends in, things like that. We're going to work on that. Right now, the intent is all these rules apply to unassigned conversations. If something's already assigned, then it is where it is. Down below, you see the AI configuration. That's a priority, which just means the order the rules are operated in, 0 being the lowest priority. So that way, hey, this rule goes first before other rules. And then the AI has to have 80% confidence it knows what it's talking about before it routes with this rule. Otherwise, ignore it. And again, there'll be a lot of videos we do about this, a lot of work of tuning will be done on this, but this will basically let us really, and I'll go over here real quick. I can go over here, I can say, hey, look for sales inquiries, again, apply it to all inboxes, assign it to the sales team, and I can add this context in here to give AI some tips and hints so we can tune the rule with our own unique prompts, basically for AI to indicate when and how to route a message and what your fallback is potentially too. I'm not going to add that rule in right now. So rules are a big piece that just came in here. And the final piece that we got added in was just webhooks. And you'll see 10 events today. So we now have webhooks, and you can see these ones here from some recent stuff I did. And this will allow us to integrate the product with our own automation services or backend services, capture things, events that happen into our CRM, things like that. Again, this is kind of a mandatory minimum for us internally. You guys know we use a lot of integrations with automations to kind of wire up the business and automate and streamline things. This will allow the product to do the very same thing. As you can see over here on the right, these are all the types of events that can be done. Conversation created, archived, assigned, transferred, messages created, sent, delivered, notes created, and contacts opting in or opting out are the current events we handle. And so this was a piece we needed in place before we go live with this internally for ourselves sometime next week. So anyway, that's a quick overview. There's a lot more work being done over the next 4 or 5 days to try to get this thing ready to go. And you'll see more about that in the near future.